What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel today, and today we will be looking at X Slice's video, basically going through an in-depth guide, or if you will, just an in-depth review over the total amount of hours that he spent in the game. Um, from the basics of just stamina recovery to what echoes are, the definition of echoes, some of the game mechanics, etc., etc. All of that stuff will be covered mostly in the video. We're pretty much gonna be checking out his video. His channel will be linked in the description below, so make sure you guys do go to his channel. Leave a like on the original video, a comment as well, just to show him some appreciation, and even sub if you feel like it. But long story short, we will be going through this. And just giving it our honest opinions and thought processes through it, because this is a game I've really been looking forward to, honestly. Just the anticipation building up to it, the hype has definitely played a huge part into it. But other than that, let's just get into it, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Make sure you leave a like and video or comment on my video as well if you do want to support me, and if you are new to the channel and you are seeing this video for the first time, make sure you do hit the sub button. Your boy's trying to hit 1,000 subs, so it'd be greatly appreciated, and I would love to see you come hang out and join the community and take part in some of the upcoming events that we do have planned surrounding Wuthering Waves and a bunch of other games that we have coming to the channel. But long story short, let's get into the video. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you later. Peace. I'm gonna close this out.
And even more that I may not have mentioned.
That's another thing that I'm really excited to do with y'all, right? Is the fact that like the co-op in this game is going to be so fucking like fun to me. Theory wise, is it like not theory wise, but just like I'm theorizing like all the stuff that we can do, like some of the stuff we can do in chat, shiny hunting, like, and I'm hoping that like capturing echoes isn't like restricted in some shape or form, right? In the sense of like, say today, right? Like say today, if I had an off day today, right, and we were getting on Wuthering Waves right now, right? Let me paint the picture for you, the beautiful picture. We're hopping on Wuthering Waves. Everybody's like, yo, you want to go? Let's go farm some echoes. We all got our favorite characters out. You know what I'm saying? We squatted up. We're sitting on top of the mountain. I'm picking some good music to start us off to. We're jumping off. We're gliding. The thing that's going to kill that vibe is if we can only catch about 5 echoes, or if a certain amount of echoes can be caught a day, or like if echoes are tied to energy that you have to recharge and stuff like that. And then on top of that, I don't even know about, like, I'm hoping that a lot of this is going to be explained in the video. Things that I'm looking for to be explained in this video are pretty much going to be how the energy system works. Does it overcap? If there is an energy system, are the resources to refill your energy bountiful? Whether or not it's pretty free to play, because I do kind of want to start a free to play journey and kind of build up an arc to see if it ever gets broken. Um, let's see, other things that I'm looking for. There's just so much that I'm looking forward to be explained in this video.
Systems will come naturally to you and boost your overall enjoyment because it's easy to get into. And to tackle the elephant in the room, let's just get it out of the way. Is this the Genshin killer? Well, let's be honest. The only thing that could really cripple Genshin now is itself and its community. Genshin's rise to fame was at the peak of COVID lockdown, and it's incredibly hard to reproduce those perfect conditions to have a game similar to it explode in the same or greater amount of success.
Now, I didn't get to experience Genshin in COVID days. Did any of you guys start out Genshin when it first came out? Because me personally, I didn't have any devices that were compatible with Genshin at the moment. And when I did have a device it was something I was using for work or school or anything the above other than streaming, right? So I never got to experience that, you know, that era of prosperity when like everybody was on Genshin. And the main thing that I'm excited about Wuthering Waves, and we are going to be pausing because I am going to be making some points and stuff like this, but the main thing that I'm looking forward to in Wuthering Waves is the being there at the start meta, right? Fantasy Star Online, I made a video on that. You guys can feel free to go check it out. I spent a whole year killing 21k enemies for a fucking weapon camo. Go check that video out. But long story short, I showed up to a lot of these games like late, right? Where people had already grinded to max, they were waiting on new stuff, or the game had already been out for a year, or something like that. This is gonna be one of the very first few times where I'm gonna be implicating myself into a community and a space that's gonna be right off the rip, right? So this is an opportunity for like not just us to grow in general as like a community, but also for another game to like come out and give people something to fucking do and like come together and like hang out. You know what I mean? That's another thing I'm really looking forward to.
Wuthering Waves does execute every element of its game perfectly,
I
but
want her
please
so
note
bad.
that COVID left
I'm
some
picking her
challenges
as my first
that won't
5 star.
equal
I don't
to
give a
or
fuck if
push
she's
the
good or
best
bad. I'm
existing
picking her as
games
my
in
first
this
5 star.
era.
She's
That
so
being
fucking
said,
cool.
I hope this game is successful on launch because it ramps up gameplay and combat to an exceptional degree, the same way Punishing Grey Raven did for mobile games. And competition in this open world action RPG space is more than welcome. Let's all pray the developers go as hard as possible in marketing and advertising its official release. And so, while I may reference some Genshin features in this video because they help with formulating the overall review and giving you guys
He
a
looks pretty
concise
cool.
comparison, we will keep the
She looks sick.
Genshin does this, Genshin does that yapping to a minimum and review things from my objective experience with the game. I want to be as productive as possible and provide my feedback on what's solid and what
Perfect.
needs
I
improvement.
trust X
Throughout the
Slice
time
on
of
like
recording this review, which is only about a
point of
week
views
into
or stuff.
Season 2,
I watch a lot of
this
his
is the
videos.
progress that I achieved. I reached unit level 31, which is
I'm gonna be rocking 4 stars and use my pulls on the best support so I don't waste my resources. Here's the thing. I'm going to play until I get her, and then after that, we're saving. We're saving. I'm playing until I get her, and probably her weapon, and then I'm saving after that. No, I'm playing until I get her and her weapon, and then after that we're saving. Because like I said, I want to enter my journey as free to play for this game, and I want to see how far we can go before we break it. Like I want to be like deep into the game because mind you, there's gonna be this is gonna be an opportunity for like especially everyone in chat too and everyone watching this video after fact. There's gonna be an opportunity for you to get on the game early. It's gonna be like if you didn't get to experience Genshin off the release and be able to obtain a 5 star, one of the standard 5 stars with that being, and you know just growing your account or re-rolling your account until you got that like standard 5 star, and then just starting your journey and being and keeping that account 6, 7, 8 months all the way to the first year anniversary. This is gonna be your first opportunity to do that,
about
especially with this
equivalent
game.
to AR-45. I've experienced the endgame gear farming for Echoes. I've tried the Abyss equivalent, which is Tower of Adversity. I've tried
Okay.
the Simulated Universe equivalent, which is Elusive Realm. And I've attempted up to difficulty 4 of the hologram bosses, which are normal overworld bosses on steroids and have fight scenarios reminiscent of a Souls-like game. These
Interesting.
beefed up bosses, which are holograms, taking 2 to 3 hits is fatal, and their moveset requires anticipation, reaction speed, and split-second decision making.
I am
In its
looking
current state,
so forward to this. I am looking so forward to this because like bro, I played my first Souls game this year. I don't have any videos on it. I did a streaming series on Twitch a long time ago for Elden Ring. And let me know if you guys want me to like restart Elden Ring and start to do a series for it or anything like that. Especially like in the future. Like not anytime soon, please. No. But long story short, um I got into my first Souls like game this year, Elden Ring. Love the fuck out of it. I love the trial and error and building up fail stacks. And if you guys don't know what fail stacks are, is when it's not really an actual thing, but the way you can perceive it is a very real thing, right? Fail stacks are basically trial and error. You fail a number of times and you learn from your mistakes, and then you progress forward, right? So games that let me build up fail stacks, especially game modes like Pure Fiction, Memory of Chaos, Golden Gears, stuff like that, where you have to keep trying until you can find a formula to progress or just achieve in general. I really like that concept. I really really like those. And it just depends, like, cause like if you're not in the right headspace, obviously those type of games are not gonna be for you. Or if you're not used to those type of games, it's gonna be difficult when you first try it out. But it's a learning experience, and then on top of that, is you're gonna be able to play with friends and learn over time. So like, if you guys start playing Wuthering Waves and you are not able to beat it, it's okay. Please do not do like an Elden Ring. Excuse me. This is one thing I really want to make sure gets across, right? And I don't give a fuck how small my channel is. Like, I hope people see this video and they're able to get like a good concept and understand where I'm coming from. But if you are an Elden Ring fan, you know where I'm coming from when I say this, right? So the big thing is, yes, dodging is your best friend. One, dodging is your best friend. Two, right? When Elden Ring came out, Radon, Melania, and I think another boss got nerfed, right? Now, mind you, Souls like games, from my understanding and from you guys' understanding, I'm assuming, right? They're supposed to be fucking hard. That is their thing. That is their niche. They're supposed to be hard. So tell me why, when Elden Ring came out, we had a situation where people complained to the devs so much about the game being hard that they had to nerf some of the bosses. That's one thing I have never heard of in my entire life. Because back in the day, bro, when they released hard copy games, it was fuck you. If you couldn't beat that shit, fuck you. You better learn how. Get better. It was skill. Like, it was trial and error. Like, nowadays, bro, like, especially with games being online, like, and they can just, like, patch things up. Like, bro, that's one of the things that really, like, I'm hoping that doesn't happen in this community for this game, is that people don't sit there and bitch about how hard the game is in certain levels, when that's the whole game's, one of the game's niches anyways. Like, if a game has a niche for something and you go and play it and don't like it, why the fuck would you go, like, rally up people to go change it? That's the one thing I hope I don't understand. I hope people don't do that shit.
Experience nearly all of the features of the game and bash my head against the most difficult content of the game that I've personally tested out. You can
Facts.
expect this review to be broken down into multiple sections, but as a disclaimer,
Oh, we're
I
gonna be here
place
for a
heavier
minute. All right, let's get it.
combat, gearing, and the grinding aspect of the game, and less on the lore, world building, and aesthetics. So expect each section to be longer or shorter accordingly. The first major thing you'll be exposed to are the graphics, sound production, music, and the features of the UI. Graphics are very solid and aesthetic, but heavily gray tinted overall. I expect this is to achieve an overall gloomy, post-apocalyptic
Yep,
vibe.
just like that.
This makes exploring the world a bit dull and cold at times, and makes each area feel a little too similar when they're evidently supposed to be different. Probably the feature people will most be excited for are the FPS options. In Wuthering Waves, you can set FPS to 120, and it does
120.
For a game focused heavily on combat, this is a huge positive and definitely would be highly requested, if not.
I don't even know if I played Genshin and fucking Honkai Star Rail on 120, dude.
Feel like a big oversight from a development standpoint. The range of graphics rendering and resolution is also.
Please, for the love of God, let this mobile compatibility be for controller support. Wait, question. I know no one knows, but can someone research and see if the mobile app for Wuthering Waves will have controller support? Just some homework, please. Thank you. And even if it's not today, just let me know on Discord, because I really need to know.
You'll definitely be able to find a balance for your PC, and make sure to.
It has controller support. Oh.
And long playtime exposure with that will probably make you uncomfortable. Overall, 120 FPS option is king. The settings have.
Like, I am full registered. Right? We're gonna be watching the other video that you were talking about earlier. I did see your point about the free Pokemon or the free Echo. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it later.
Beyond just bass-heavy EDM. While EDM is the BGM favorite of basically every high-intensity.
By the way, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure you do leave a like for me. We're gonna be sitting here reacting some Wuthering Waves content today for a little bit before we play.
To give you a contrast between ambient exploration, where background music is much more peaceful, and then switch into something with higher BPM and a deeper beat to indicate that you are in battle. Almost like a fight or flight response, so to speak.
Interesting.
For music, I think the best way to convey the experience is for you to listen to it. So here are two small snippets of tracks, one more peaceful and one more aggressive.
Okay, we about to hear some bangers?
During combat itself, the
Huh?
sound indicate perfect.
Wait. I didn't mean to do that. Go back. That song sounded like it was gonna be gas.
Almost like a fight or flight response, so to speak. And for music, I think the best way to convey the experience is for you to listen to it. So here are two small snippets of tracks, one more peaceful and one more aggressive.
Bro, all right, so that little, I'm gonna go try to find that song and listen to it, because that song sounds fire. Like, I like music like that. You put your own hype music. Here's the thing: when it comes to like games, there's some games that have very good music. Scarlet Nexus had good music in the background. Dokkan has decent music, right? Niche music. Um, Honkai Star Rail definitely has good music. Not everywhere, but it definitely has good music. But if there's gonna be music like that playing for boss fights, I'm in. I'm in.
Keep
I'm
perfect
100%
timing,
in.
parry, QTE, and indicators for your abilities are all pretty solid. I think for
I'm
some
curious
folks
on
who
how the
aren't used to
QTEs
how
work
sound
though.
design is typically used in anime, it
Is
might
it just
feel like
after
these sounds
dodges
are
or
a little
like certain
sharp and strong.
breakpoints?
But personally, I like their choices, and I feel the base structure is solid enough to have generally good impression for most players. Sound design in this aspect is, in my opinion, one of the features that, if done really well, will
That fucked
increase
my
the
whole
immersion of the
ratio up, by the
player.
way.
If
There we go.
done just okay, won't be really noticeable, kind of like an afterthought, and if done poorly, will be very noticeable and complained about. Given that Wuthering Waves is developed by Kuro Games, which is also
I'm just
responsible
leaving
for
here. Fuck it.
PGR, sound design for combat, in my opinion, is in good hands. PGR has some of the best combat sound design for a mobile game. Overall, they don't need to impress with the sound, but if they do, people will notice, and I think it'll drive additional attention for people just to experience the immersion. I think in
They
this
pop into a
era,
small attack
sound
and leave.
production is such an essential part of both
See, I've never
marketing
played
and
Punishing Gray
experience
Raven.
for
Should I
players,
try
and
it
is
out?
often not given enough credit. In the previous CB2 trailer they produced, in my opinion, their use of sound production to match each section of footage they were aiming to present was an integral part of the selling point. Next up, UI. So Wuthering Waves UI did not stand out, but this can be viewed both positively and negatively. The structure strongly resembles the interface of Genshin with Tower of Fantasy font, which is able
It's
to
really
achieve
fun.
familiarity with players of these communities. It's easy for them to recognize, and it's a reduction of information overload, but it also lacks its own identity. So my personal preference generally views this positively because I'm more logical and functional, so I value the familiarity to make my rush to endgame more efficient. It's a smart choice in my eyes, but that doesn't mean it isn't a lazier approach. A trade-off between time spent
We
and
might
time
try it out
gained
this
is
weekend.
probably
Low
the
key.
best way to describe it. So UI elements can be unique and silky smooth and have its own identity, such as Arknight's Enfield UI, but also would require much more creativity and innovation that maybe developers would not want to use resources on. So this one's up for grabs depending on your preference. I think it's okay for developers to take what they found successful from other games and improve on top of it to create what they want.
For
Most
sure.
of the gacha sphere uses
For
this
sure.
ability.
I agree with that because like for instance, Power, right? They took the whole concept of Pokemon and went their own route with it. Killed it. Yes, they have fallen off quite a bit is because they're taking 29 fucking centuries to release the actual fucking game like fully. But other than that, when Power came out, like they did it right. They took the concept of someone else and they tried to redefine it to a certain degree, and they did. So like there are a lot of stuff that I do like in Genshin, right? Not trying to say if every game took a lot of qualities that I like in Genshin and put them in, it'll make me play them. But what I'm saying is a lot of the qualities in Genshin I do like, but there's a lot of qualities I don't like. So if this game is taking qualities I do like and then they're doing their own qualities, which I might end up liking, then that's just a double fucking. They took two birds out with one stone. They did their own thing, they put their own spin on it, and on top of that, they took what was already there and just refurbished it basically. And then, like I like that. I'm here for it.
Structure of UI, and then adds artistic expression for the design of the game. No real difference for Wuthering Waves. It does have its own feel when browsing through menus, traversing dungeons, upgrading characters, fighting bosses, but the base template is still there. Overall, it's nice, but nothing stands out,
It's
and there
ending
are still some
tomorrow.
technical
Sheesh.
nuances that need to be smoothed out. Clicking actionable buttons sometimes has a noticeable delay that could be shortened. Transitioning between scenes is sometimes clunky and awkward with weird pauses, etc.
I'm pretty
These
sure most
small
of that'll be
things
fixed
don't
though.
really take away from the experience though. They're just rough edges that I expect to be smoothed out on a full release.
Facts.
Next up, story. So currently the story is only voiced in Mandarin, and the VAs are pretty nice to listen to. You'll probably hear familiar voices from games you've played before or anime you've seen before. Expect the other languages to appear on full release.
She looks
Because
sick
I
too.
personally intend to play Wuthering
The
Waves
chick with the
for
burn
the
hat
fun
hat,
gameplay,
the
I do not really
blue one.
pay much attention to the story. It does have voice
The
cutscenes,
chicken in white looks sick
with
too.
characters and so forth,
Their
but
character
usually
designs
that's what
look
you'd expect.
fucking good. Why
With
are people
CBT2,
why were people
when I'm
hating
not
on them?
fully diving into the game, and unless there's talk around town about it, I'm not going to pay too much attention. It's not that I don't care about the story, it's just that I care a lot more about their main selling point, which is combat, and it's the primary reason why I'm interested in playing. I have
Facts.
heard from some of my friends that they did significantly improve this story from CBT1, so take that as you will. For this reason, I don't feel qualified to make a judgment on the story, and it won't affect
We're
my
definitely
opinion
picking
on the
female
gameplay of
rover.
this game. Also, why this section is very short.
Hashtag
Moving on
team
to
female
exploration.
rover is
Mostly
in
a
play.
thumbs up from me. Large open
We're
world,
definitely picking female
multiple
rover. She looks
areas,
so sick.
traversing on foot doesn't take that long, and there's really nice quality of life that makes the experience nice and not feel like a chore. Climbing turns into running up walls and doing backflips sometimes.
I cannot wait to get her. She looks
You gain
so
access to
sick, dude.
grapple very early on, which is usually used on proper hooks with the T button, depending on the location, but can also be used arbitrarily when running around. When it's used properly with the T button on something that you can use it on, there's no cooldown. But if you use it arbitrarily, like just while you're jumping, there's a 12-second cooldown. You can also dash in midair. Gliding is also a thing, and it doesn't drain too much stamina, so you can hang on for a while. All of these
Sheesh.
things make it pretty nice to roam around the world. I never truly felt impeded by the terrain. There was always a combination of quality of life that I could use to get where I wanted to, which was great. Generally for the world map, it has your stereotypical layout. Teleport waypoints, boss dungeons, resource domains, quest markers, points of interest in towns, like NPCs and stuff. The
Okay.
typical gacha layout. It also has a smaller version of puzzles, chests, world resources, as expected,
Not
and a
crystal
wide variety
flies.
of unique enemies. Personally, I felt that the enemies were a bit...
Is there mint? Is there mint in the game? Because if they put mint in the game and did it better, I don't know what to tell y'all.
spread out, but traveling is fast, so it doesn't feel too bad. I think it'd be nice to have a slightly higher quantity of enemies, maybe like a 20% increase to the whole world. They don't have to be guarding a chest or whatever, just existing for the purpose of farming, that we'll talk about later, would be nice. On the topic of exploration, there is a stamina system, and it's called Wave Plate. There's a 240 cap, which takes 24 hours to recharge.
240?
1 per 6 minutes. Consuming for resources costs between 40 to 60, depending on what it is.
40 and
Currently,
60.
there's no way to store it for future use. Overall, really good experience with the quality of life.
Bro, I'm really hoping someone goes to developers and being like, yo, Honkai Star Rail does an overcap. The fact that your game is gonna come out and people are gonna like try to bust and grind, you should definitely add an overcap. Just because of the fact that people are gonna leave for a little bit when they don't have anything to do. When they come back, that's gonna up the playtime so fucking much having overcapped stamina. Like the energy overcap is so fucking busted, bro. That is such a busted meta, bro. I don't know any. I think Cookie Run Kingdom does over stamina cap. Who else? There's a couple other games that do it. I think Dokkan you can over stamina cap. The new Blue Lock game you can over stamina cap. I've been playing the new Blue Lock game by the way. It's pretty cool. It's not really anything to stream or do, but it's something to play on the side. It's a small game. There's a bunch of games that over stamina cap, but the over stamina cap meta, just the overcap is so fucking good, bro. I don't know why games are just not like making that like. Oh, duh.
Obvious smaller bugs. Like sometimes you'll get stuck running on the side of the wall.
Get one
You
from
don't
the shop.
actually lose stamina unless you cover distance, so you can just run in place until you give up and realize that you're not going anywhere. Kind of cute. These small bugs don't really affect my review because in my opinion, the devs should eventually smooth them out. World glitchiness is totally expected for a CBT, so it is what it is. The major features that are in the world are pretty solid. Now we'll get into the juicy topics that I personally have more interest in. To begin, we've got the most important system for any gacha game: how the summons work. So far, the base structure is near identical to Genshin, with some major improvements that we'll get to. 160 currency for 1 pull, 1600 for a 10 pull that guarantees at least 1 4-star rarity weapon or character. Pricing of the currency is identical to Genshin.
Okay.
$100.
I think when it comes to pricing, I think that most of the pricing is universal, right? For most gacha games, when it comes to their, I guess you could say, genre, right? I think it is like, a set amount that goes across, right? Because most games that have a setup like this for UI, I think most of them have similar pricing for it, but there might be slight differences in like the amount that you get. But I think the pricing pretty much goes the same across the fucking board, just depending on your region.
Times 2 for the first top up, and then likely 8,080 after the first bonus is used. Besides the first top
They even
up,
have a double
on average,
bonus.
each 100 US dollars should get you 50 pulls worth of currency. It's expensive as but my opinion for this doesn't matter. There's probably a reason the most successful and lucrative gacha game ever created is used as a reference.
Skins
for
go
other games
crazy.
from
They
the
do
same series.
skins?
If I were a dev, I'd
Like
use
Hawkeye
legitimate
Impact 3rd
personal
skins?
improvements over it because it rakes in the cash. Here's what the banner rate
Because
looks like.
Hawkeye Impact 3rd has
Character
some
banner
decent
has
fucking
a base rate
skins.
of 0.8%, which is 0.2 higher than Genshin. Pity is at 80. Soft
Can
pity is
I ask
currently
completely
unknown
unrelated
if there's any,
questions?
and it's
What's
at
up? What's your question? Elisa? Alright, but I'm gonna keep watching
50-50
until you finish that
For
shit.
weapon banner, the base rate is also 0.8%, which is 0.1 higher than Genshin, with a pity at 80 again, and soft pity, currently unknown if any, and 100% guaranteed rate up. So the banners are treated equally with the same base rate across both. Only difference is the rate of chance.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
notice it's a
purposely
really
don't
big
even
feature.
let my
The limited
algorithm
weapon
touch
banner
any
is
form of
guaranteed to
political.
rate up when you hit the 5-star. And the standard weapon banner has a selector that you can choose which 5-star you're targeting, and then getting to be that one. So both weapon banners have no RNG involved, and worst case would take 80 pulls.
Hold on, I'm gonna restart that for a second because I'm gonna have to go back and cut a lot of this for the video.
The limited weapon banner is guaranteed to be the rate up when you hit the 5-star. And the standard weapon banner has a selector that you can choose which 5-star you're targeting, and then getting a 5-star is guaranteed to be that one. So both weapon banners have no RNG involved, and worst case would take 80 pulls to get the one you want. If you get an early 5-star on the weapon banner like I did, boy oh boy does it feel really good. In my opinion, this is a really big change. Every single category of player benefits from this change, from whales going for R5 all the way down to pure F2Ps. The average cost of R1 to R5 achieves a drastic cost reduction at all tiers, and the most important thing is the variance of pulls required to get one is reduced. This means that while winning a 50-50 can feel really nice, that also means losing a 50-50 can feel horrible. So that horrible feeling is now no longer a part of the equation. It's now also reasonable to include a character signature weapon into a build calculation because it's way more within range of the average player's experience. Now let's head into the shop. The UI probably looks really familiar. Monthly subscription bundle, special bundles, and a level up gift pack, which is quite nice, an exchange system like Stardust and Starglitter, a purchase tab, and a point store to exchange rewards from endgame content, which is a common thing among gachas. Nothing really stands out here except one thing. In the item exchange, you'll notice that one of the things you can buy is GN's Waveband. In Genshin terms, would be equivalent to being able to buy Farina's constellations or any limited 5-star character. Yeah, crazy shit.
So
Probably one of
wait,
the most underrated features of this new shop system because this gives F2Ps and lower spenders and even whales a guaranteed goal of constellation buying.
so wait, you can't so you can't buy these and get the character, right? They're only like eidolons. So this is like the equivalent to the store that's in from I'm just speaking from stuff that I've been, familiar with. But Seven Deadly Sins has a store to where you can exchange currency and just buy copies of characters, right? So this is the equivalent of that. But like can you buy these and get the actual character, or does it just come with the constellation? That's the question. No. Okay, so you can just only get the constellations with this. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now, this is only for the extra constellations.
Well, yeah.
Or,
Okay.
as
So
they
he
are
was gonna
called
say
in Wuthering Waves, sequences. This is not
sequences.
purchasing the actual character. So while you probably can buy this even if you don't have the character, you won't be able to use them until you actually pull at least one copy of the character yourself.
I mean, that makes sense, but I wonder if they're gonna update the store with like previous release characters though. And will that shop reset every time there's a banner?
This is equivalent to being able to buy, for example, a Yellon C1 or Farina C1 and C2, just as an example. Those are basically the most notable and game-defining features that I've noticed for the summon system. Overall, incredible improvements over the
Oh my god, bro, she looks so sick. Chat, when we see that animation, I'm going to go crazy.
On these games and makes content on it with my YouTube community, I still think that the price point is highway robbery. But it's still my job, and I have gacha brain rot, so GG for me, I guess. Next up, character design. So
It's either gonna be random resets or when the new banner drops. Okay.
Because those are two different things that character design could be referring to. In my opinion, Wuthering Waves has really solid character gameplay design.
Bro, she looks so sick. Like what?
Because those are two different things that character design could be referring to. In my opinion, Wuthering Waves has really solid character gameplay design. Each character has a unique set of about 6 abilities, including their E and their R. Basic attack chain, which is spamming left click. You have the heavy attack, which is the equivalent of...
Thing is, bro, you won't even need... Because, like, bro, think about it. Think about what if they, like... I doubt they're going to do this. But, like, say you summoned, right? You got your character. You didn't want to use the currency or to get, like, an Eidolon or a Spectre, right? You didn't get the Spectre. But then the next banner comes out, right? Say that new unit does have their Spectre copies put into the shop, you can just keep backing them up, keep saving them, over like time, and just like if a unit comes out and it's super fucking busted, you can be like, bro, I got resources on deck. I got stuff from the bank account.
Resonance skill in this game, you have R, which is your ultimate or resonance liberation. You also have something called an outro passive and an intro ability. These two combine to be called QTE. If you're familiar with Honka Impact, that's what it is. And then we also have a special passive that enhances a part of their kit, which is called a Forte Circuit.
I'm hoping it explains about the intro outro skills.
Transforms them temporarily and performs that echo's special ability. All of these things combined.
No. Hashtag ad. It was getting good.
Amazingly active playstyle that is unique to each character, and I love it. And if you're ever confused about how a character specifically works, there is a highly descriptive and dedicated tutorial for each character located at the bottom right of their main screen when you press C. Unfortunately, I was only able to find this for characters that I already own. But as of recording, I wasn't able to find an archive of characters to try.
I mean, that's not horrible, right? Because you get an in-game death on how to play with the character, and I'm assuming that after you do the little basic attacks or whatever, trade echoes on Discords. That'd be cool as fuck. If you can trade echoes in the game, that's cool as fuck. Like, I'm hoping that is a thing. If that's the thing, we're definitely gonna be doing trades and like challenges where I have to like delete a shiny or something like that, right? But I'm hoping that with the tutorials, once you do the basic attacks, you get just free roam on a boss and you can just go crazy with it, right? I'm hoping that it's not in the game. Oh damn, bro.
Limited GN. I think it'd be really nice to be able to try
the web learner event. Yeah. I'm gonna be watching a video on that, covering that soon.
Maybe they'll have a temporary tab for each limited banner. Who knows? For example, from Genshin.
I'm not gonna watch all the videos I have for us to watch on stream today because I do want to play the game, play Honkai a little bit. But we're just gonna be recording this one, and then we might record one more video. So that'll be 2 videos going up on the channel this week.
These will differ in
2 reaction videos at least.
Color between each character. During combat, you can freely switch between characters of your party with the number.
Don't worry, we'll do the web event. I might do it on stream.
Mid-combat, your party members have this visual effect near them, this indicates that QTE is ready. Swapping to a character triggers both the leading character's outro passive and the incoming character's intro skill. Pretty cool. So now that that's been introduced, it's important to note in this game there are two forms of energy. One for each character's ultimate, which is Resonance Energy, and one for the team's QTE, which is called Concerto Energy. Resonance is visible for each character. QTE, as far as I'm concerned, is not, but it'd be cool if it was.
Okay.
It's probably the quickest crash course I can give on character design for the purpose of this review. Overall, I can say I'm genuinely pleased with the diversity of playstyles and uniqueness of each character. It's way more complex than I thought it'd be, and I'm loving every second of it.
This looks so
Also,
cool.
the tutorial for each character is heavily underrated. Lots of players that I've seen did not know about specific gameplay mechanics of the main
Bro,
character,
this is
Rover,
gonna be so
that's
fucking
explained in
cool.
the tutorial. Now I get it. Nowadays, we are all used to just going headfirst into everything and just learning as it goes.
Tell you what,
I'm at fault.
everybody that's gonna be doing
Have your fun. Just
any
remember
type of Wuthering
tutorials
Wave stuff,
are your friends.
when we start doing the event stuff, make sure you put in your stuff in the Wuthering Waves tag.
Design is the overall gameplay experience of the game. This includes all the enemies you'll face over the course of your journey. I'm going to
We gotta get
first
these
go
missions
over
done.
mechanic explanation,
Especially if they have guilds, chat,
combat
or
rules,
alliances,
weapon
we are
waves,
going
and
to be one of the strongest like free to play guilds
First, even though there are elements in the game, there are no reactions.
with a couple of
The
whales.
game, I think,
Because I know some of y'all can't help
the score
yourselves.
mechanics and the boss mechanics. It's difficult enough. Second, on top of all the character abilities that you have access to, the enemies give you openings for two more things to keep track of: perfect evasion and parries. Perfect evasion happens when you dash or dodge any dodge attack.
They're a thing in PGR. Oh my fucking god, dude. Yo, we're starting a guild. We're starting a fucking guild if they bring it, dude.
Attacks or abilities against an enemy while they have a golden ring indicating their next move. From my experience, not all attacks or abilities work to parry, so the specifics are still being ironed out. Perfect evasion can be used against any attack, including parryable ones, but consumes stamina the same way dashing would.
Okay.
This is the default method of avoiding damage in this game, as there is a much lower risk of failing and taking damage. Parrying is much harder and stricter method of counterattacking the enemy. The main benefit is chunking the enemy's stagger bar by a set amount. When the stagger bar is completely drained, the enemy is crippled for a short period of time, lying stationary for you to deal damage. Now, there's a lot of nuance when it comes to parrying, including your distance from the enemy, the attack that you're using, and the angle that you're striking from. So yes, it's a lot more difficult, and failing the parry is more common than not, especially if you're still learning the fight. When you fail, you take damage like normal.
Bro, I'm so fucking excited for this game because if it gets to the point where like ranged characters have ranged parry attacks and stuff like that, bro, to be able to close the gap in certain combos and stuff like, bro, it's gonna be so fucking cool.
Against more difficult enemies. These enemy mechanics make fights very reminiscent of Souls-like games where slower, patient, and tactical strategy are much more important than Unga Bunga autopilot. The difficulty ramps
We gotta
up pretty
update the
heavily
stream
with each
playlist with some
enemy
good boss
fights.
music and some good
Another
fucking
point
Dark
that
Souls
you can
music,
check.
bro.
You can basically view parrying as a level of skill issue associated with a particular enemy.
I mean, I know they're gonna have beautiful
The
music,
more parries you
and we're
deal.
definitely gonna be like playing with
So that's
the
like a
in-game
crash
music
course
on
gameplay
for the first day.
mechanics. Let's transition to
But other than
applications
that,
in the game. As you progress through the game, various boss
we definitely gotta
dungeons
get
and
some.
resource domains are unlocked. Resource domains to level up characters, weapons, and their materials are filled mostly with trash enemies in single to multiple
With a
waves that are
stand?
expected to be cleared fairly quickly. World bosses and
What the
weekly
fuck?
bosses are single
Dude,
boss battles.
when this game comes out, I want to stream it all day.
They're not that difficult.
Legit, I want to try to get as many new people in the community as possible.
Upon reaching Union level 25, you can begin clearing tacit fields, which are equivalent to artifact domains. We'll talk a bit more about this because there's a whole section.
Like I'm talking like joining like the Discord and calls every so often, group farmings and stuff like that. Hoping that, you know, y'all will start taking advantage of the voice chats with each other and stuff like that, playing with each other. Like I want this game to be big for our channel.
These features should all be fairly familiar to you guys, so there's nothing that structurally stands out. In my opinion, Wuthering Waves looks to have put much more emphasis on the actual combat itself, rather than the features that contain that combat. So things like Tower of Adversity and Elusive Realm being...
I will go back to that point he said about their version of Simulated Universe. Simulated Universe, a roguelike system like that. My first time experiencing it and enjoying it was Honkai Star Rail. So I'll speak from my perspective on this. A lot of people won't really understand the concept of that because a lot of like some of my friends that tried Honkai Star Rail they got to the simulated universe mission, the one that you do at the beginning, and they just click random things, right? And I told them the concept of it was like, yo, if you pick the same ones under certain paths and stuff like that, you get certain buffs, and then you end up getting like a super buff at the end. But like, a lot of people won't grasp that. They'll just keep picking random things that make sense to them. Like I did. Like when I first started playing it, like I would just pick the best stuff that sounded good. Like if one said HP, I want HP. I didn't stick on all of them being like HP or healing and stuff like that. Like I picked all over the place. Like I went hunt. I would go to abundance, and then I would go back to nihility, and then I would be all over the fucking place. And then like by the time I would get to the end, you know what I mean? I would have a weak ass fucking buff if I did, or I would just have a bunch of random ones. Like, yeah, I could beat it every so often, but like that's besides the point. My main point is like that won't be really um something that is homebound to a lot of people. So I'm hoping that they kind of take their time from it and make sure they just do it right with it, because I don't want people to be too confused with it, but at the same time I do want it to be like actually kind of difficult, and then also they still make an impact, if it makes sense. You get a ton of rewards from it. Oh, PGR has a roguelike mode too. Sheesh. So they already know what they're doing then.
Abyss and Starro Simulated Universe looks to me like the devs thought, wow, that was a successful feature from what the
YouTube.
game was. Let's implement it with our own twist. Seems like a
Say hi to
common
YouTube,
thread,
cause sure this is a
smart
video.
and efficient but lazy approach that allowed them to focus less on aspects they viewed weren't as important to innovate and focus on what they love to show off. Again, I'm personally fine with this approach as long as they capitalize on their combat. If the game is focused this much on impressing their players with top-notch combat, I expect them to have an internal roadmap of innovative boss fights that we can look forward to as the game ages. If they don't, the existing boss fights will slowly get more stale, and the challenging aspects will fade and people will lose interest. As players, we will also naturally get stronger over time with farming gear and the release of new characters, even more trivializing the difficulty of the current content.
Not even just that. It's not even just that, bro. Because like I said, bro, like people who play this game, bro, and you've never played a Souls-like game, and if they actually do focus on like the actual combat itself and making it like difficult to a certain degree, to where like it is a trial and error type situation, being patient, watching for certain attacks and stuff like that, bro, it comes with honing in on your skill and refining it. At the end of the day, it will be a skill issue most of the time. At the end of the day, like you can have the best gear, you can have the best character, it will not fucking matter if you are not dodging when you're supposed to dodge or parrying. You are fucked at the end of the day. It doesn't matter.
Positive, but this is also a blessing and a curse. A strong first impression also means an expectation.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you get hit with 2-3 moves, you're dead.
Realistic note, though,
and like I'm not gonna be sitting there trying to run like a healer most of the time, or a tanky ass character. I want to like be immersed. I want to be dodging these. Like I want to be fucking in my chair swiping side to side like I'm trying to fucking dodge IRL.
Farming and the ecosystem. This one's got a lot to unpack. So the ecosystem in Wuthering Waves is both the Pokedex farming and summoning in battle.
By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please leave a like and sub if you are new to the channel. I appreciate you.
Any monster that you kill in the overworld that is not a human NPC has a chance to leave behind a fragment of itself behind. You can absorb this as an echo and equip it for.
This is what I'm really excited about, chat. We are farming fucking echoes all goddamn day. I promise you.
Green, blue, purple, gold.
It does have a relic system, which is the echoes most of the time. I think. I think you do. I don't know if the echoes are your relics, but I think they are.
Each echo and independent rarity.
Yeah, they're relics. Yeah, they're relics. This is the cool thing. The echoes are fucking Pokemon. I don't give a fuck about farming that. And especially when you can get them in the overworld, bro. You don't have to go into a domain all the time.
Which shows you what you have gotten. Also allows you to track things you both have.
They have a limit time in a day you can farm them, but like that's for. But if you're farming each echo in the fucking game, that's like an unlimited amount, right?
I'm unsure if there's a level requirement to get rank 5 echoes, because you would technically unlock this really early without advancing your union level that far, but it's still in your best interest to level up accordingly to access better and more efficient content.
I mean, gear makes sense though.
There's also a bunch of stuff you need to be aware of. You have total cost that begins at 8 from databank level 0 and increase.
Oh, so you have to increase your cost. You can't just get a good echo, throw it on, and then your whole team with a bunch of good echoes. You gotta level it up a little bit.
So you have 5 total slots, and each each echo costs either 1, 3, or 4. 4
Okay.
cost are your crit rate crit damage pieces, 3 cost are your goblets, which are the elemental damage pieces, and 1 cost are percent stat pieces, so attack, defense, and HP. The top echo is the ability that is chosen. In battle, this is done with
So your
Tuner.
top echo is the
Set
one that you
bonus
transform
exists
into.
as 2-piece, 5-piece, with 5-piece being pretty strong and worth committing to. Each piece that contributes must be a unique echo. For example, having 2 identical types of echoes will not contribute to the set bonus. The exception to this rule are shiny echoes called Phantom Blank. They are special and can coexist with their non-shiny equivalent to provide set bonus. These are available in the point store for clearing Tower of Adversity, Elusive Realm, and the hologram bosses.
Ooh.
Okay, so that's as fast of a crash course as I can give without spending a whole video talking about them and overwhelming you guys. Let's talk about the nitty-gritty. All of the open world, including weekly and world bosses, can be farmed for echoes without using your stamina to claim the rewards. So this is especially apparent for weekly and world bosses. This is really nice.
I mean, even if
Not
you can get them
only
from the
your
shop,
world,
just
but
farming them in
also friends'
overall is gonna be
worlds
fun.
and friends of friends, and even random
It
strangers.
looks like
as
it
long as
is,
they
at
have an
least.
open world and allow you in to farm enemies and collect their
And you
XP.
can go to other
You'll use your
chat.
stamina to farm tacit
That's it. I mean, basically, you save up your stamina things, and we just go in each other's worlds and farm echoes, bro. Easy dub.
fields, which provide echoes, EXP,
We ain't farming each other's mint no more. Flowers, seashells, and shit. We farming fucking Pokemon. I'm here for it.
Crit rate, crit damage main stat. Same goes with the 3 cost and 1 cost. So you can easily catalog and mark which mob is what cost, map them out, and farm them.
We won't know until we play it.
Because of this specialized
We can only
farming,
speculate stuff
getting
like
the
that.
specific main stat you want for whatever piece you want is easier in this game than in other games.
Because if it has
Crit rate
controller
damage main
support,
stat for cost is
I'm definitely, I mean, regardless, even if it doesn't, I'm still gonna play it.
3 cost is still asked because it needs to be on set, but it's much more
Because,
realistic.
like,
1 cost
people don't realize, like, Genshin, fuck, Genshin, what else? Hangasero have controller support, and they play very good. Very fucking good.
HP or defense main stat with flat HP secondary, so they're really easy to farm for the main stat. Now that's the tip of the iceberg.
True.
Substats, on the other hand, are a whole
Someone
other
stated the
beast,
fact that it might have
where a sickening
controller
amount of
support, but
ridiculously RNG dependent stuff happens. So hopefully by this point you understand that echoes are artifacts. Their cost
I mean, when I was playing Genshin, I was using
stat,
touchscreen for the
rarity,
fucking longest
value,
and doing perfectly
max
fucking
level,
fine.
and substat count. In Wuthering Waves, substats are completely blind when you first get an echo.
And even when I
There's no
farm off
settings
camera,
for
I'm
You
not
also
fucking
don't
bringing
upgrade the
my
substats.
controller over to
You
my
have to
computer
upgrade the
and
piece to see where
setting
the
up my whole
substat
setup
is.
just to play
These
Genshin
are
every
showing
time.
up at +5,
I was playing,
10,
laying down playing
15,
touchscreen.
20, and 25. Also, the rarity has to be at least blue or better. How do you upgrade the piece? Well, you cannot use any of the other +0 echoes in your inventory. You must use dedicated.
I'm playing all day.
XP. If you want to use an echo to feed, that echo must already be leveled with
Like,
some
the
EXP
first day that I
secondary,
stream this game, I want to
25%
play
of
all
the
day.
XP it took is sacrificed.
Literally only
So,
Wuthering
if
Waves.
you feed 500 EXP into an echo, and then feed that echo to something else, it will only give 375 EXP.
I don't have a problem playing my
minus
fingers
130
either.
EXP for nothing. This system is only really useful for
I
feeding
enjoy the
echoes that
quality
you
of
don't
playing with
want to use anymore
controller
and
though,
want to
for sure.
scavenge some EXP back. Otherwise, you'll be using dedicated Echo EXP. In order to get Echo EXP, they are stamina locked. You can either go to Tacit Fields for a minor chunk, or go to the dedicated resource domain that specifically gives Echo EXP and tuning, both of which cost stamina. These
Okay.
dice that you see, called tuners, you need these to unlock
They
the
have
substats.
synchros?
So the substats don't just appear for free. So you have a blue, purple, gold Echo at +0, because the green don't have substats. And you start upgrading. +5, 10, 15, 20, 25 are the thresholds where substats start appearing. What are the possibilities? Well, any stat that
My
you
boy
can
got
think of
30
except
defense.
element damage bonus. So that includes flat attack, defense, HP.
Not flat. Can we get flat stats out of the fucking game?
And liberation damage bonus. You have crit rate,
Dang it.
damage, and then you have energy regen. I may have missed some, but already that's 13 unique possible substat rolls. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this
I've been a
game
controller
allows you to
warrior all
roll
my
the same
life,
substat as the main
so I
stat.
don't mind playing
It's
it.
actually pretty cool and a nice feature. So a crit rate main stat full cost can also roll crit rate substat for even more crit rate. When looking at those stats, usually a character that's DPS will probably want crit rate, crit damage, energy regen, their main stat of attack, defense, or HP percentage, and at least one source of
It depends on who you are as a
DPS,
player,
skill,
whether or not
or
it's
liberation
overwhelming.
for whatever their main source of damage is. So that's 5 out of 13
Because one
substats
thing,
that are
and I'm not just talking about you in particular, but people who suffer from similar thought processes like that. One thing about games, y'all, they're not meant for you to fucking beat or do or fully grasp the first time you play. They're not. And that's the best thing about new games to me, or games that are pushing a certain agenda, right? It's not like I like building up the failure stacks. I like not understanding stuff and learning stuff and like, taking my time with it. I don't like it's not put there for you to be able to just consume all in one go. You know what I mean? Like just keep that in mind.
useful. Now, I don't know if these stats are evenly weighted, but the RNG is already starting to surface and it is pretty to spare. Now, let's be realistic and say that we are okay with any of the 5 substats on the first 2 upgrades, not going to hunt specifically for crit rate, crit damage. Because going for 3 to 5 of useful substats is insanity, which we'll get to. Ideally, you'd want to hit this by plus 10, otherwise the cost of upgrading will be depressing. So, first 2 substats with something useful is
And
about
then
a
on top of that,
12.8% chance.
like Tectone says all the time, he's like, bro, you miss out on Genshin lore. There's somebody out there that has made a video explaining either the story, what you missed out on, or an in-depth process. Somebody's doing
Not bad. If you want
it.
3 substats, which is plus 15, it's a 3.5%
I'm not personally fond of
chance
making
to
guide
actually
videos, but
unlock that
like
character.
if we
4
get to certain
substats,
points when we're playing the
0.0%.
game or streaming
And the
it,
perfect 5
and
substats
we
with
figure
something
something out and
useful
we
and
want
no
to
waste,
explain it,
0.03%.
and it's video worthy, we might make a
Now, just
short
as a
or we make a
disclaimer,
video.
this is an
I need
estimation.
to honestly
I don't
start
know
making
if there's
fucking
more than
shorts.
13 stats. I also don't know how the rules are
Cause
weighted.
Shira told me a
Crit
long
rate
time
damage
shorts
is
are
most
like
likely.
heavy
So
on
I'll just
growing.
give a frame of reference to the
So
infinite grind for
definitely gonna be
5
making some
perfect
shorts
substat
on
videos. So, with those 5 perfect substats, all useful, no waste, is roughly 1
Wuthering
in
ways for sure.
1,000, assuming all 1,000 have the right main stat you wanted in the first place. Honestly, that's not that terrible, right? Well, the substats themselves have a range of
It
rules.
does have a skip
Currently in
button.
72, the range of
It
rules from
does.
anecdotal data is estimated to be up to 4x. This means that the highest, for example, crit rate roll could be 4 times the smallest roll. Now, personally,
Excuse
I
me?
show you, but the only example that I have are 2 pieces, both with HP percent substat, one with 5.2% and one with 14%. So this range is already almost 3x.
That motherfucker could drop at 14% for crit rate? What the fuck?
The chase for these stats is legit.
Imagine getting the crit
Let's
rate
let
piece
go
with
to even see the substats.
14% crit
Pieces
damage on the
it's
fucking
incredible,
stat.
right?
Like as soon
For a
as it
5-star
starts
echo,
and
we
it
can
hits
show it's a
all
1/5
crit.
substat,
Oh
20 and 25.
god.
The amount of EXP that would take would easily clear your stamina for the day.
Well, that's the
And if you're
thing.
trying to hit an important
In this
substat
game, they
volume
said
wise
they're
all
like
things being equal
focusing
to
mostly on the
3,
combat and
if it
stuff, and the
doesn't
story's
hit,
just
it
gonna be
really
like
feels like a
icing on
potential
top.
killer.
So I mean,
The
if they do
combination of all of this feels like a
good
solid
with the
run for
story,
burnout. Now, let's
and then
play
they
some
also
devil's
give you an
advocate
option
and
whether
be
you want to
way,
consume
way,
it
way
then and
realistic.
there or
Not
later,
every piece needs
is
to have
even
all the
better,
best substats,
which is the
and
skip
they
button is
also
there.
don't need to be super high roll. They can just have 1 to 2 usable substats and move on with your day.
Hmm.
We all crave crit rate, crit damage because we have brain rot, but in reality, anything useful goes. I still find that the range of substats is still too large. Unless we are given explicit rates or just pretend we are oblivious.
Damn, you got me excited. You got me wanting to try punishing Grey Raven for real.
Wait a minute. Some of these rolls are way bigger than the others. If this substat system stays how it is, then aiming for 1 to 3 substats that you want at plus 5, 10, and 15 will probably be the way to go. And then you'll just have to accept whatever 20 and 25 give. But this is also dependent on how difficult content becomes. Do we really need insane pieces, or can we manage with mostly just main stats? If the
Or
content
can
is
you manage
severe,
with
then
just
it'll be less
skill
focused on
and
grinding and
dodging
farm.
and
There's a
fucking?
lot of nuance when
Is
it
it
comes to this
timed
farming topic.
or
Each
does it?
phase needs to
It's
be
counting
considered the
down, so you
complexity
do
of what you're
is
trying to
timed.
achieve and which audience you're trying to target. In its current state, upgrading echoes is very expensive, using stamina to farm EXP, and then RNGing the substat rolls, and then RNGing the roll value. Does the average player have the time to commit farming multiple worlds for echoes, or do they have to strictly rely on stamina? Currently, at Union level 30, the stamina to echo conversion is 60 to 2 pieces.
So with that being said, I'm understanding, and I'm hoping that I'm not misunderstanding. He might explain this later, right? So what I'm understanding, there are some overworld echoes that you can catch. Then there's stamina echoes that you can catch, but you can go to other people's worlds and catch some of the overworlds echoes that are, obviously you can't catch in your world. So I mean, it just depends on how you're gonna be playing the game, right? And since we're gonna be playing as a community, it won't be that heavy, right? In the sense of finding at least someone to let you in their world, to do some echo farming, right? Um, but on top of that, when it comes to just stamina, I mean, like if you're playing casually, um, I feel like it won't be that heavy. Especially if you're gonna be playing casually, you're gonna be playing at a slower fucking pace, anyways. And which I recommend if you're gonna be playing casually and just taking your time with it and enjoying the game, and then like working yourself up to certain fights, then I feel like that's the best case scenario. Hold on, there's someone at my door. I'll be right back. Wait, never mind. My roommate said he got it. All right, but anyways, yeah. Long story short, like that's one of the things I'm looking forward to as well. It's just seeing how we'll be able to, just manipulate ourselves in, getting better echoes, getting the phantom echoes, the shiny echoes, and stuff like that. Feeding off each other in the community and
Okay,
stuff like
so
that.
let's
Long
spend
story
all a
short,
bit on echo farming. If the average player who only has time to burn their stamina can get 8 pieces per day, they have way too many RNG walls to burn through for decent stats. They'll
right?
only be trying to clear more of the difficult bosses, and for the less patient, they'll probably burn out of interest around this point. The
Mm.
hardcore player may be able to sustain the game cycle, is able to farm multiple worlds worth of mobs and bosses for more echoes, leading to 10 to 50 echoes farmed per day. But they still have to commit to farming EXP, and probably if they're hardcore, they have harsher requirements for the pieces, meaning they'll throw away more pieces than the average player. And I understand that this infinite farming is probably the reason why +0 echoes cannot be used for EXP, because basically this would heavily reduce the stamina usage for a
Okay.
specific purpose.
So there is an endless cycle, like we were talking about. You can just like keep going to other people's world, but like you said, since you can't use zeros, you're just gonna have to like hoard these pieces for a little bit until you're able to get
Well, you would still have
the
to grind for
XP
too, though.
requirement for it.
I don't know. Thinking like a developer, trying to wrap my head around the ecosystem and balancing its features around as many players as possible feels like a nightmare. This is definitely the endgame loop of grinding if this is what we're seeing in CBT2. So I can see the perspective of both sides who think this is fine and people who think this needs a big rework. Because you can argue that the content doesn't need the substats if you have enough skill, which is totally valid, but people will still want to get the best pieces possible
I
for the
think my
game's benefit.
question is, and I'm hoping that this gets touched on, is when it comes to co-op, right? You know how when you play Genshin, if I invite someone, it's I can bring a person and they can bring a person. But then if I invite another person, I can use two people and they are only both restricted to one. How is this gonna work? Is this gonna work in the sense of will each person load in with their other people that they can use and they can switch out in between the fight? Or would they be restricted to like, a certain amount of characters during the co op session in
Playing
general?
and continue to improve how quickly they can clear the hardest content. In order to prevent me repeating a bunch
You
of
don't use
stuff,
one
I'll
character in
probably
co op?
stop the gapping there for the echoes. Also, I apologize if this section is particularly
So
confusing.
absorbing
I know
overworld
the
echoes
system
doesn't take
is
any
complicated
stamina.
by
Okay.
default, and I needed to
I
simplify
mean,
it as
obviously it
best as
wouldn't, but
possible to engage in a review about it. Overall, it's the most complicated system in the game. It's heavily RNG dependent, but it's also responsible for the endgame loop. So it's really, really important, but also so difficult to fine-tune for the right feeling of the system. I feel like at the bare minimum, cutting the range of substat rules would be a major step forward. Instead of being able to see 5.2% HP or 14%, which is my example, maybe something like 5.2 to 10.4. The largest role being only twice as big as the smallest role would feel a lot better. This is a crucial system in the game to fine-tune as it directly impacts the combat experience in the game. So I hope a balance is reached where
I see.
upgrading
Okay.
doesn't feel like a complete slot machine and there's a middle ground between time spent, stamina spent, and resources gained. Alright, final dedicated section on the mid to end game
End
bosses. I
game
didn't want the hearing, farming,
bosses.
and echoes to be the final section because I didn't want the mixed vibes to be the lasting impression from the video. I overall still feel the game has strong potential. So, for these bosses, they are specifically the hologram fights that unlock at Union level 27. Take all the world bosses that you usually fight for character essential materials, but add progressively more difficult and aggressive movesets. Besides the bugs and sometimes weird and uncomfortable camera movements, these difficult bosses have excellent design. Each fight is completely different and is themed around the monster of the fight.
Wait, what is that?
Moveset, the weird and uncomfortable camera movements, these difficult bosses have excellent design. Each fight is completely different.
What is this Star Fox ass fight?
The Heron has a bird themed moveset. The Memphis has a mutant superhuman move design. The Morning Ikes has supernatural dragon move designs. And Monkey is Monkey.
Monkey.
Movesets all have parryables and proper evasion techniques, so it's a hyper-focused test on your anticipation, reaction speed, and split-second decision-making. The more you fight the bosses, the better you get at them. Really enjoyable concept and great boss designs overall. Some important points of improvement though. Camera. Camera is almost great. Sometimes it has trouble following snappy movement, especially when the boss zips closely to your character's hitbox. These are the auto-lock camera features, and I tried disabling them and playing with other settings, and it still makes it difficult to manually follow the quick moves. This is just my personal preference, and I think some people feel the camera is fine. In my opinion, having the camera adapt to the movement at a slightly slower speed would improve its fluidity and not cause super sharp switches.
That was sick.
Second are general combat bugs. I feel that these will be fixed on release, so there's not really a point to bring them up in detail, so I'll just mention them. Perfect evasion, not fully dodging an attack, so sometimes even post-dodge you still take damage. Surrounding hitboxes, and then taking damage after getting a successful parry, depending on the enemy's hitbox, also annoying. Both of these are taking extra damage at the cost of bugs. Might seem like a small issue, but remember, these fights are
taking a hit is bro, it was sick. So you could just, oh my god, as long as you have stamina, you can just keep doing that.
Might seem like a small issue, but remember, these fights are extreme challenges. Taking a hit is basically getting one shot or two shot. Third is retrying these bosses. So while there is a feature to press P that allows you to abandon the current challenge, it does not reset your character's HP or revive your downed party members. So after abandoning the challenge, you'd still need to teleport to a major waypoint to heal your team and then come back.
Okay.
The current method to avoid this is to have the boss down every single one of your team members, causing you to instead fail the challenge. Failing the challenge will revive your entire team to full HP and 0 energy and put you right before the challenge point, meaning you can instantly retry.
So just let him kill you at the end of the day.
Your team members can sometimes take a while and is really just a waste of time. And since these are the bosses that are extremely difficult, players tend to spend hours redoing these fights over and over to achieve that one successful or perfect run. So it'd be a huge quality of life to see this implemented on the P button and allow us to instantly abandon and retry with full HP and 0 energy.
Okay.
Besides that, I really enjoyed these difficult boss fights. Hopefully you guys don't watch too many.
I'm looking so forward to this.
Because the beauty of
I don't want to see too many.
And then once you succeed, you can feel like a god gamer. That's the best feeling you'll get in a combat focused game. So overall, I personally think Wuthering Waves has a really solid foundation and incredible potential to take a portion of the gacha community by storm. Those looking for a technically intensive combat experience playing as anime guys or gals will probably find their best chance here, and let's hope that the momentum will continue beyond the initial release. From what I've currently experienced, I will 100% be playing the full release of this game, which hopefully we can expect in 2024, so expect lots of guides and challenge content to appear on this channel.
Dude, chat, we're definitely doing some crazy ass stuff, like swords only, range only, like we're doing some crazy ass stuff with this. I don't hear none of y'all bitching about his heart either. We never back down, never give up.
In the comments and what you're looking forward to for the game. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Sick video, Slice. Appreciate that. I'm gonna leave his shit in the description. When I do go and edit this video. I am excited. I'm excited for Wuthering Waves. Who's we? I give up. Oh my god. Anyways, I am excited for Wuthering Waves. Almost said Punishing Great Raven. Because I really do actually want to go try that game out. Just see what they talk about over there. But if you guys are excited for this, let me know in the comment section if you're gonna be playing. And if you are, make sure you do hit the subscribe button and like and come hang out with us and join the community and get involved with us. We're gonna be playing this game all day when it fucking comes out, so be there or be square, blah blah blah. But anyways, everybody in chat, say bye to YouTube. We'll see them next time when I do record a video. Probably Wuthering Waves. I don't know fucking know. I got like 4 more planned, but anyways, yeah. Hit the like, subscribe, bye.
I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to subscribe. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to subscribe.